Right, so another video. I thought I'd show you what I'm going to be up to for the next few weeks, basically, now that I've done the interior, as people have seen before recently. So basically the plan is to do a bit of work on the sub enclosure. So I'm going to be smoothing it out inside here. You can't really see, unfortunately, at the moment, but it's basically covered in fiberglass, relatively jagged, so it needs all flattening back and smoothing back in there. So I'll be doing that as part of it. I probably won't do much in the way of videos for that because there's nothing to actually show really, apart from a bit of tidying up in the fiberglass side of things inside there, which you can't see in the dark. What I will be doing though is I've got to tidy up all these. I've got port flare, which I made ages ago. This is basically to make the air come through the port quicker, basically, because the port on this is, for the 515s, is relatively, well, not small, but it's not really as big as it probably should be. It's just about on the borderline, so I need to make sure I'm not getting air noises coming through the port when all these 15s are flapping about. So the plan is to, where these cutouts have been made for obviously the sub mounts in there, so I've had to make a cutout, and this whole port flare comes off to get to the subs. So I'll tie that all up, make sure it's not sitting like that, basically with gaps, so that'll all be flush against the port. All these gaps inside will all be sorted, they'll all be built up properly and done correctly, so it overlaps itself properly. I've got to make the port entrance, so this is the exit for the port, so obviously the air comes this way. This is basically the same as this on the back, and I'm probably going to make it slightly bigger than this so it flares out a bit more. That'll be on the back space again for the airflow. Sorry, choking to death now. Okay, so that's the plan for that, so I'm doing that. I'll also be doing some work on the brakes, which basically means I'll be using this tablet here for now. This is my sort of outside car tablet basically that I'll be using. Eventually I'll change this over, but it'll do for now. But I'll be using, where are we? Not that one. I'll be using a app called Bluetooth Electronics. You obviously can't connect to the moment because no battery connected to the car, but generally I'll be in a section on there to use the Airride. If no one's seen this before, I'll show you how that works basically again when I do this. And then that screen, there we are. So basically what I need to do, the reason I'm doing this and jacking it up, is because I need to get in here. So I want to move the car out of the garage at some point very soon, ideally. So the plan is these Brembo calipers, the rear ones aren't so bad because the discs are very slightly smaller. I think it's 5mm smaller, obviously Nissan GTR discs, floating discs, and I want to be taking this wheel off, which I need to jack it up obviously for that because it's on the floor literally. So I'm going to have to raise the air ride, put the jack under it, take off this wheel, and then basically I'll be modifying these calipers on the corners in here so that basically it sits a little bit further in so it doesn't foul anything on the wheel, and so the rear one isn't so bad anyway. It's tight obviously, but the front one's the worst because it's a bigger disc. But basically I'll be doing that and making the mountings for the calipers much stronger, because at the moment they're a little bit flexible and you can't really have any flexibility in there, so they're a little bit too flexible, so I'll be sorting that out. Obviously what I said before as well, the door side of things, I'm going to be carrying on with this. I'll do some fiberglass work on this as well, probably do this next actually, to be fair, and I'll make all this section so it's the same as it is on the dash as well, so it's got like a bit of a lip. Obviously at the moment there's not much of a lip, it's just sort of there, it needs to come out to about here, and then bring that and then curve it into the door so it's a nice shape, and then comes up there and then comes up there and then curves nicely down behind the back and there as well. This section I've got to do, I can't do it yet because I need to find out how the door fits before I do it, but I'll do that at some point as well. So yeah, I'll do a part 2 when I've had a few hours on it and go from there. Alright, so I'm going to do this video in 3 parts instead of 2. Basic reason for that is a lot of people are obviously new to the build and they don't actually know how this thing works. So done some work on the inside, which I'll show you on part 3. But on this section I'm going to show you how things work with the Airride and the tablets and stuff. So basically I need to jack this up, like I said I was going to do, get the wheel off and start doing some work on the calipers. Basically this is how it works. So you've got this bit of software here, We can put the rear air up, which we need to do at the moment. Let's try and get this on camera if we can. There's not a lot of air in it at the moment, but it's only been on a little while. But you can see that's already gone up, what, 3.5 inches, something like that, probably. Maximum lift is about 4 inches roughly, and that allows me just about enough to get in with the jack, and then basically get the wheel off. Pretty much is the general idea. It's quite tricky on the rear, but I will do it today. Let's try and get a bit more air in there. Obviously it goes down as well. So you can see what I've got to do with these calipers. They're a little bit tight around the rim, shall we say. They actually hit on the weights at the moment on the wheels and scrape those. So I can't really have that. So yeah, I'll be getting those off. Did a bit of fabrication work on those, and I'll do a part 3 shortly with the rest of the stuff I've been doing. Okay, it's part 3. Been quite busy really. So basically I've done the first layer and second layer of glassing on the door here. I haven't done the tablets around yet because I have to do that separate so that it all fits together. So you'll see where it's all got the gaps and stuff in there, which is perfectly fine. That's how it's meant to be. And then I've done the outside of here as well. I'll try and do this without falling over. Around here, started to build up this section as well, all along there. I'll also show you this section over here. Jump over some tools, there you go. Right, so I've been basically reshaping this. So this is all now pretty much straight, so it's got a bit of flattening to do and some another coat of filler, basically one last coat of filler on that. But apart from that, it's basically done. The rest of it is pretty much squared off now, with the little mini corners on the outside, which is what it's meant to have. The port side of things, I've made like a little gasket thing, so basically it will fit nice and flush. The flare will fit nice and flush on there. Obviously it's fiberglassed in from inside, so that all the air is sealed in there, all in there. You can't really tell, to be honest. It's a relatively thin layer of fiberglass, but it'll do the job. It's going to get a slight skim of filler anyway to make it look tidy and everything, so no problem. A nice thin layer in that. Yeah, so that's looking quite good. So basically the port flare will then fit on top of, will fit on top of here. Nice flush surface. It's got to do the hit this section as well, and the back of this to make that completely flat, which at the moment it's not bad. It's really not bad, but it needs bringing out very, very slightly to make it the right shape and everything. So that's nice and easy. What I'm basically working on, as you probably could guess, I'm making the carrier bracket for this Brembo 6-pot caliper to go over the disc. Obviously this is the rear wheel, as I was saying before. They're not real brakes, obviously. They are technically real brakes, but they're not functioning brakes on the car. So basically I've got mounting brackets. I've got 2 lots of threaded rod. I don't know if I can get in here. It's not the easiest thing in the world to get into. 2 lots of threaded rod, one there, one further down. Then this bracket is going to be basically part of the structure of it. It's going to bolt onto this. I've took the nut off here already, so it's going to bolt over there and probably over here as well, I think. That'll make a nice solid structure. That will then make the carrier for this to sit perfectly well. I've modified it slightly, so I've had to trim the bottom of the caliper. Where are we? Trim the caliper bottom down here a little bit. The top, that's what it used to look like. The top should be fine as it is. I don't think I'll have to trim that. But I've also got to trim these sections inside here, which are causing me some grief at the moment because I can't get the angle grinder in there. So I'm going to have to try and get in there somehow and do that, because otherwise it fouls the disc very slightly when it moves about. But really, once that's all bolted together, which I've just got to basically piece it together now, in theory this should all spin properly. At the moment you can see it's all loose and all that, so it doesn't really work, but it will. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. So I shall put it back together for now, and then I'll do another video as and when I've done some more work on this. Gonna get some bolts and bits and bobs to finish this off, and then let me know what you think, and comment and subscribe if you can.